President Donald Trump sloped up pressure on TikTok, the well-known short video application, on Thursday evening, giving a leader request that would viably boycott the application in the US 1 month from now. The request bars exchanges with ByteDance, the application's Chinese proprietor, a move that might influence Google's Play Store and Apple's App Store, which disperse the well-known programming in the US. A comparative request targets Wechat, an informing application claimed by Chinese monster Tencent. Trump gave the requests under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, a law that permits the president to control worldwide trade in the wake of proclaiming a national crisis because of any strange or exceptional danger to the U.S. The spread in the United States of versatile applications created and claimed by organizations in the People's Republic of China keeps on undermining the national security, international strategy, and economy of the United States, the chief request peruses. As of now, move must be made to address the danger presented by one portable application, specifically TikTok. Trump's move comes following quite a while of extreme emotion including TikTok. The president has had TikTok in his sights since early July, when he said he would make a move against the organization because of China's treatment of the coronavirus pandemic. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said in a before interview that Trump was thinking about the boycott in light of the fact that the application could make U.S. client information available to the Chinese government. The organization's concentrate at that point went to driving an offer of the application to a U.S. organization, and Microsoft went into conversations with ByteDance to buy some portion of the business. Microsoft declined to remark on the chief request. TikTok didn't react to a solicitation for input, however shot the chief request in an unpolished blog entry that blamed the organization for trying to pull a fast one. The organization showed it would sue if fundamental. For almost a year, we have looked to connect with the U.S. government in accordance with some basic honesty to give a useful answer for the worries that have been communicated, TikTok's blog entry peruses. What we experienced rather was that the administration gave no consideration to realities, directed terms of an understanding without experiencing standard lawful procedures, and attempted to embed itself into arrangements between private organizations. TikTok's information assortment conceivably permits China to follow the areas of federal workers and contractual workers, manufacture dossiers of individual data for coercion, and direct corporate secret activities. Rising worries about TikTok's capacity to get to the individual information of U.S. clients come as TikTok sees its ubiquity detonate. The application has gotten another lift from the coronavirus pandemic, attracting individuals hoping to get away from the weariness of lockdown. It's been downloaded in excess of 2 billion times, as indicated by research firm Sensor Tower, with 623 million coming during the main portion of this current year. India had been its biggest market, trailed by Brazil and the US. The US isn't the only one in stressing over the application. India has just restricted TikTok, and Australia is likewise thinking about blocking it. Trump referred to the India boycott in his leader request. In a move that could streamline things with certain administrators, TikTok said on July 22 that it intends to recruit 10,000 individuals in the U.S. throughout the following 3 years. The organization said it would include jobs in designing, deals, content balance and client assistance in California, New York, Texas, Florida and Tennessee. On Wednesday, TikTok said it's setting up another server farm in Europe and will contribute €420 million $500 million in Ireland. This is what you have to think about the political reaction against TikTok. TikTok has drawn the consideration of the Trump organization, just as different pieces of the administration, in light of concerns it gathers up data on Americans that could be gone over to the Chinese government. The U.S. Army and Navy have restricted help individuals from downloading the application to official telephones. Both the U.S. House of Representatives and the Senate have casted a ballot to deny the utilization of TikTok on all official telephones. 2 representatives have additionally mentioned that the Department of Justice open an examination of TikTok, just as video conferencing application Zoom, The worry stems to a limited extent from the apparent powerlessness of Chinese organizations to dismiss demands from China's decision Communist Party to get to client information. China pundits regularly refer to a 2017 law that requires its organizations and residents to agree to all issues of national security. TikTok says all U.S. client information is put away in the U.S., with a reinforcement in Singapore. TikTok additionally says none of its information is dependent upon Chinese law. The announcements didn't fulfill the Trump Organization. TikTok consequently catches huge areas of data from its clients, including web and other system action data, for example, area information and perusing and search chronicles, the request peruses. This information assortment takes steps to permit the Chinese Communist Party access to Americans' own and exclusive data, possibly permitting China to follow the areas of federal workers and temporary workers, manufacture dossiers of individual data for extortion, and lead corporate undercover work. TikTok's entrance to U.S. clients' information likely could merit researching. There'll consistently be concerns when applications from unfamiliar organizations gather a lot of client information, said tech strategy master Betsy Cooper, overseer of the Aspen Policy Hub. In any case, she included, it's indistinct how much exertion the organization will place into really examining the earnestness of the particular security worries with the application as opposed to utilizing this as a danger for more extensive international influence. The organization's blog post following the chief request clarifies it is troubled. TikTok said we have clarified that TikTok has never imparted client information to the Chinese government, nor blue-penciled substance at its solicitation. Truth be told, we make our control rules and calculation source code accessible in our Transparency Center, which is a degree of responsibility no friend organization has focused on. We even communicated our readiness to seek after a full offer of the U.S. business to an American organization. TikTok has stressed its connections to the U.S. and its freedom from China. On July 29, TikTok CEO Kevin Mayer, an American, guaranteed more straightforwardness around how the application functions and swore to make its calculation accessible to specialists. He approached different organizations to do something very similar. Following remarks by Trump on July 31 about a TikTok boycott, the organization proposed offering the U.S. tasks to an American organization. That would place the information of TikTok's U.S. clients in the possession of a residential organization. All things considered, the application's remote are obviously apprehensive about its future. Many are urging their supporters to move with them to different stages. For example, YouTube and Facebook possessed Instagram. Instagram as of late propelled another element, called Reels, intended to contend with TikTok and draw in makers. TikTok divertingly trolled Instagram with an all-around coordinated tweet upon the arrival of the dispatch. The leader request wasn't the main way the government could request the offer of an unfamiliar organization. It could likewise experience the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. This board, some portion of the U.S. Department of Commerce, was at that point exploring TikTok with respect to national security concerns. The examination, first detailed in November 2019, could have required an offer of TikTok's U.S. activities. The advisory group has purview since it surveys unfamiliar proprietorship and control of organizations in the U.S. ByteDance got its traction in the U.S. when it bought Musical.ly in 2017 for $800 million and in this manner rebranded it as TikTok. The securing helped TikTok gain footing with U.S. youngsters. There's ongoing point of reference for Chinese organizations auctioning off areas of their organizations. In March, Chinese organization Kunlun consented to sell its controlling stake in gay dating application Grindr after the Board of Trustees raised national security concerns. A day prior to the chief request on TikTok was given, the U.S. Department of State uncovered a push to secure individual and corporate protection. Named Clean Network, the activity would incorporate expelling from U.S. stores any applications that compromise our security, multiply infections, and spread purposeful publicity and disinformation. The circumstance has changed nearly as fast as recordings look on the application. Microsoft has recognized that it's seeking after an arrangement for TikTok's tasks in the US, Australia, Canada and New Zealand. The arrangement, in any case, may be bigger, as indicated by the Financial Times, which detailed the product Goliath may likewise be keen on buying the entirety of TikTok's worldwide activities. TikTok isn't accessible in China, where a sister application is utilized. An arrangement could be worth between $10 billion and $30 billion, as per CNBC. The enormous value range may mirror the diverse proposed bargain structures. The leader request leaves open the possibilities of Microsoft agreeing, since it doesn't become effective until 1 month from now. The president has recommended the U.S. ought to get a part of the exchange cost if an arrangement is struck. It's muddled whether the government has the position to demand such an installment. Dealings could be wrapped up inside 3 weeks, CNBC announced, sooner than the September 15 cutoff time that the organization had at first recommended. Different organizations are additionally apparently intrigued, however it's indistinct how genuinely they may seek after an arrangement. The government could utilize the leader request to require Apple and Google to pull TikTok from their application stores. Be that as it may, these organizations could set up a battle. Apple and Google didn't react to demands for input on Thursday's structure. The tech network will be extremely reluctant to oblige this application boycott, said Wayne Lamb, an autonomous innovation examiner. It starts a trend for the administration to boycott different applications or in any event, for other worldwide applications to be out of reach to the US showcase. Regardless of whether the application vanishes from application stores, clients can introduce applications on Android gadgets without downloading them from the Google Play Store, said Carolina Milanese, a tech expert at Creative Strategies. The government additionally can't make a particular application illicit for ordinary people to utilize, said Kurt Opsahl, General Direction at the Electronic Frontier Foundation, a promotion gathering. There is no law that would approve the government to forbid standard Americans from utilizing an application, he said. The US can't keep the application from chipping away at the web, which some different nations can do, said Arturo Falasto, a prime supporter of the Open Observatory of Network Interference. There is no focal spot where you can go to and execute a brought-together separating system, as there is in places like China and Iran, Falasto said. The administration could arrange all ISPs in the nation to hinder the application, however there's no assurance that TikTok wouldn't figure out how to get around those blocking endeavors, Falasto said.